I'm Jeffrey Rogue Kohut. This is my Potter's Journal for April 2022. Some of you have already noticed. Look at this! 1,000 subscribers. That is you, not me, you, who have encouraged me on, who have pushed me to try to make some strides forward. I don't get anywhere fast. I'm surprised you're still watching or following along. I promised you cake. And you know, that might not happen yet for a video or two. There's a lot of stuff going on. But we've got to get it started. And we will just do the same old thing, try something new. Today, on a potter's wheel, let's make some cake plates in the studio today. Okay, exploring a new idea. I don't think this is it. This is two parts, okay? We threw it with an open bottom and a bowl. Okay, a little wavy bowl. So I will trim the bowl and put it on top of there like that. I really don't think that's exactly it. This is more maybe a candy dish. Here's a bigger one. I've had this idea for a long time. And I've been thinking about it for making bird baths. This actually may be big enough to make a bird bath. I will trim this and attach it on there like that. But I don't think this is really what's meant as a cake plate. I think they're made in one piece. Okay, let's give that a try. And here are some of the ideas for the cake stands. I would say that I am not a how-to, but more how to be. Okay, a potter. That if you know the story, 5 years ago I was back to throwing after being away for 25 years or so. And I've spent, the time redeveloping skills I once had and developing, a line of pottery that I'm happy with. When I first came back and discovered YouTube, there were forms I don't remember 25 or 30 years ago, whatever it was when I started making pots, that I don't remember what's called flower bowls. For me, though, they developed into scalloped bowls that what makes a flower bowl. I went in a little bit different direction. And, like everything, I just seem to jump into it. Sometimes with great planning, and other times not. This time, I've been thinking about this and planning this, I think for 2 years now, never thinking the day would get here. But now at the planning stage, I have no idea how wide this is. The cake, probably standard size, might be 9 inches. But I am not getting up for a ruler. That we're going to make this as wide as the bat. Okay, so this will be the bottom and the base will come up like that. As wide as the bat. And since this is new for me, back to discovering and learning how to do what you want to do, that this is a prototype, and I document, how much clay I've got here, This is 3 pounds of clay. And then in the future, I'll see how big of one that we can make with this. And then in future, I can go from there, measure up and down till we get the right amount of clay. Okay, and I originally thought that the stand part would be thrown separate and attached later, which if I do a scallop one, it would be. But I believe this is the way to do it, not like we would leave some in there and throw a, but to just put another piece of clay on here and center it and throw it from there, and we will see how this works. Another one of the early pots I discovered, I didn't remember from years ago, was the double bowl. And I think most people just make 2 bowls and put them together and put a strap handle. It's very common that it would go from one side and then cross over, not parallel, but at an angle to the other side. I do mine straight up. And I do a lot of extra coiling and attaching. That was one of my first videos. And I still look back at it. Not recently, but I remember looking back at it and thinking, oh, look at that. That's really not too bad. But I've also thought this past year that I've tried not to show you things I've done before. That as I've done all my, would have become standard forms, production forms for me, I thought, you know, now is when I should be showing you, and could show you how it's done, instead of, okay, a crazy exploration and trying to figure it out. Now this might be too much clay for this, but at the same time, we will just see what it looks like at the end, and I will make notes and change it from there. The other thing too, I don't think this is something that would be a standard production form. That I think this is something that you'd make on occasion. I don't think people are going to go crazy for these like they do chip and dip plates. This is something that you would make on occasion, and if you did have maybe 2 or 3 that were of different shapes and form and size, as opposed to making a lineup of them all the same. Another early video. Okay, what I'm doing here is just throwing myself into this. I think that's also what I did with an early bird bath video, when I took a piece of clay that was just way too wide or too big for me and just threw myself into it and forced it out. Doing my production stuff this past winter, unlike this piece here, they just seem to come right out of the ball, right out of the clay, nice and smooth for me. So, and that's not what's happening here today. Okay, but we're just going to go with this. Okay, and now there's so many mug channels out there. I've tried to stay away from mugs, or at least showing you mugs again and again, but I would say maybe I'm a pie plate channel. I do a lot of pie plates, and it's hard to come up with the variations there, but I do, and I have, and I will again, and I am going to take the fluting from my pie plates and see if I can put it on here. So if I haven't explained and you haven't figured out, this is all upside down. And the cake is going to go on the other side. So I'll go in there with the rib. And I will go in there and take out a small little bit. You know, I don't know how you trim something like this. So I want to try to clean that up so that there's no trimming involved. When I first started doing this and showing you different forms, different pots, I would watch other people's videos. In this instance, this just arose so fast that it never occurred to me. Okay, something that shows off the fluting is if we put a couple lines in there, it helps to accentuate the fluting. Sure. Okay, so where did I start that first one? I guess we can't tell, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and yes, again, being a pie plate channel, the fluting comes from the pie plates, and people like it, bakers and non-bakers, because it helps them place and space the fluting on their pie. This also could help sell the cake stand. It may give people the idea, in addition to cake, to put a pie. Okay, to put a pie on their cake stand. And I've tried to stress not to limit our marketing possibilities. Not for these only to be sold or shown as cake stands. Let's get the 1,000 subscriber party started today. The real party will be when we fire the cake plates and unload the kiln. That's when the cake will be. That's when I will gift, one of my small signature slipware plates that'll fit in a small media box. Probably with my signature, rooster on it. I'll just ask that you pick a number. I'll roll the dice, numbered 1 to 6 dice. Pick a number between 111 and 666, closest to without going over. In this video, leave your guess in the comments, and let me know what's going on in your studio today. In that video, we'll unload the kiln. Here, this one was I threw after the one you saw me do on the wheel. This one will do my slipware on the side. This one threw beautifully for me, as you probably can guess. I can't talk and throw at the same time. You saw the big wobble I put in that, but it's okay now. When I posted my first video, I just stared, after hitting post, stared blankly at the screen. All I could think was, that was so stupid. Who's gonna find me? I have no other social media post at the time to say I've done it. So I sent out 3 postcards. And for the longest time, I was getting between, 13 and 17 views. But eventually there were some comments. Very soon, a few comments. Some of you actually are still here from there. Then a few people maybe were just very polite and felt sorry for me. So, but now there's so many of you that comment, so often and on a regular basis, encouraging me on. So I'm always showing off something new. Some of you I even know behind the scenes. So that's been great. And so I try to do more than just pottery. Potter's lifestyle too. But in pottery, sculpture, hand building. We've thrown in a bit of travel. I wish I could do more of that. Food, garden, and I think on occasion I've done a don't be a starving artist. Okay, and okay, don't be a starving artist. Don't buy your Easter candy before Easter. These are Reese's peanut butter eggs. These are, I think, about 12 days after Easter. And they were $1.19. So don't be a starving artist. Buy your Easter candy after Easter. And stop back, okay, for more. And hit the bell too, and if you're not subscribed, or even if you are, hit the bell, subscribe, and when you hit the bell, you will know when the video comes out. Okay, for the plate gift.